Simon Jackman has always lived a life in politics here and in America. He's now at the Sydney University. He's the CEO of the United States Study Centre. Simon, welcome.
Thank you.
Have you always had a passion for politics?
As long as I can remember, yes, indeed.
What about our road ahead for Australia and America? How do you kind of see that happening?
Yeah, look, it's so interesting, and it's the topic we concern ourselves with at the Study Centre. The United States has announced that it finds itself back in an era of great power rivalry, that the main game now for the United States is less to do with counterinsurgency and counterterrorism and more to do with, while they were doing that from 9/11 to about the end of the Obama presidency, China was getting on with business and Russia was getting on with business. Countries that A, aren't democratic and B, have quite expansionist designs on the world. That poses an acute set of questions for Australia, given our trading relationship with China. The US relationship with Australia is now entering hence a new phase where, number one, the geographic focus of it is not in the Middle East, where we're helping the Americans do things over there, but it is increasingly returning to our own backyard, number one. And number two is expanding out of traditional military focus to the alliance, blossoming into something a little bit bigger, because the things we need to do together to build resilience against anti-democratic initiatives in the world will only succeed if democracies like Australia and the United States, work together, in particular in our region.
Well, we have a Prime Minister that seems very proud of his religion, and that's
right.
positive, isn't it?
That's right, and I think it's a big part of why Trump has invited him for a state visit. It's not a small part of it.
No.
We're not talking about it too much here, but I think Trump, and in particular the Vice President of the United States, who is an evangelical Christian, looks at Morrison and says, I know where that guy's coming from.
What do you think? I have to ask you this question. What do you think of President Trump?
Oh dear.
Sorry.
That's right. Look, it's an ongoing puzzle for me how people of faith in the United States reconcile their support for Trump. So a majority of people of faith support Trump.
Sure.
Given some of the things he said and was recorded saying, why is that the case? That remains a live puzzle for a lot of political analysts, myself included. I look at all the values that I was taught, instilled in me in my Catholic education. I look at the way that we expect presidents to behave.
Yes.
And I just don't see those norms of conventional presidential behaviour coming from President Trump, and it's distasteful. Occasionally it crosses beyond the distasteful into another domain entirely, and it is a ongoing puzzle as to how so many decent people in the United States were willing to put all that to one side and support him, to be perfectly blunt.
Well, we often say only in America, don't we?
That's right.
Years ago, the Irish Catholics were heavily involved with the Labor Party in Melbourne.
Yes.
Do you think religion plays a part in politics in our country much anymore?
Nowhere near as much as it used to, but every now and then, yes. Look, Gough Whitlam pivots the Labor Party. He gets them to sign up to state aid for schools. And we don't, a lot of people don't even know what I'm talking about, but state aid, quote unquote, used to be an issue in this country. And would the Commonwealth government in particular give taxpayer dollars to support church schools?
Sure.
And now that is a settled matter. And Gough Whitlam was the leader that got the Labor Party over the line on that.
At this stage in your life, how do you keep your faith?
My family, my kids, that changes a lot. You recognise that this is a very serious business, being an adult, and you also understand that this is not set and forget. There is a certain amount of innate good that's in our DNA, but there's a lot, and I would say the lion's share comes through parenting, comes through schooling, and comes through example. what you model in your own behaviour to your children. The family, look, were very prominent in the church down Sandgate Way.
Yes.
My grandfather in particular, real patriarch of the scene down there, helped establish St. Patrick's in the 50s, and you sort of were aware of that family history.
Well, look, it's been lovely to chat with you. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
Say hi to Uncle Sam for me.
Will do. Thank you.